Stalin, The Court of the Red Tsar by Simon Sebag Montefiore is a deeply detailed and captivating examination of Joseph Stalin's rule, focusing on the relationships and inner workings of his regime. This account, based on extensive research and newly accessible archives, illuminates the personal and political dynamics of Stalin's inner circle, revealing the complex interplay of loyalty, ambition, fear, and survival that defined life at the top of the Soviet state. Through intimate portraits of Stalin and his closest confidants, Montefiore paints a vivid and chilling picture of a regime where absolute power was wielded through a combination of terror, manipulation, and personal charm. The narrative begins with Stalin's consolidation of power following Lenin's death in the 1920s, setting the stage for his transformation of the Soviet Union into a totalitarian state. Montefiore details how Stalin, through calculated political maneuvers, eliminated his rivals and established himself as the unchallenged leader of the Communist Party. The early chapters delve into the mechanisms Stalin employed to maintain his grip on power, including purges, propaganda, and an extensive network of spies and informants. These tools allowed Stalin to control not only the Soviet Union's political landscape but also the lives of those closest to him, creating an atmosphere of constant tension and uncertainty. One of the book's central themes is the duality of Stalin's character, a man capable of both ruthless cruelty and disarming charm. Montefiore explores this complexity by examining Stalin's personal relationships, particularly with his inner circle, a group of powerful men who served as his advisors, enforcers, and, at times, scapegoats. Figures such as Lavrentiy Beria, the head of the NKVD, Vyacheslav Molotov, Stalin's loyal foreign minister, and Andrei Zhdanov, a key ideologue, are portrayed in rich detail, their lives intertwined with Stalin's in a web of mutual dependence and fear. These men were not merely subordinates, they were integral to the functioning of Stalin's regime, yet they lived under the constant threat of falling out of favor and facing exile, imprisonment, or execution. Montefiore brings to light the personal lives of these individuals, showing how their ambitions, fears, and loyalties influenced their actions. The inner circle was bound together by a shared sense of purpose but also by the knowledge that any misstep could be fatal. Stalin's ability to manipulate these men, playing them against one another while maintaining their loyalty, is a testament to his political acumen and psychological insight. The author also explores the broader social dynamics of Stalin's court, including the roles of women and family members, whose lives were similarly shaped by the caprices of power. The book does not shy away from the atrocities committed under Stalin's rule. Montefiore provides a harrowing account of the Great Terror, during which millions of people were arrested, exiled, or executed on charges of treason and counter-revolutionary activity. This campaign of repression was not only a means of eliminating potential threats but also a way of instilling fear and ensuring compliance across Soviet society. Montefiore vividly describes how Stalin orchestrated this reign of terror, often with the active participation of his inner circle, who carried out his orders while striving to protect themselves from his paranoia. Stalin's personal life is another focal point of the book, offering a window into the man behind the dictator. Montefiore examines Stalin's relationships with his wives and children, which were marked by tragedy and dysfunction. The suicide of his second wife, Nadezhda Alexeyeva, had a profound impact on Stalin, exposing his emotional vulnerabilities even as he continued to project an image of strength and control. His children, Svetlana and Vasily, provide further insight into his character, their lives shaped by both the privileges and burdens of being Stalin's offspring. Through these personal stories, the book humanizes Stalin, presenting him as a man with both strengths and flaws, while never losing sight of the immense suffering he caused. The book also explores Stalin's role during the Second World War, a period that tested his leadership and defined his legacy. Montefiore recounts Stalin's initial failures to anticipate the German invasion, followed by his determination to rally the Soviet Union in its defense. Key moments, such as the defense of Moscow, the Battle of Stalingrad, and the eventual march to Berlin, are described in detail, highlighting Stalin's strategic decisions and the immense sacrifices made by the Soviet people. The author also delves into Stalin's interactions with Allied leaders such as Churchill and Roosevelt, examining how these relationships were shaped by mutual distrust and differing visions for the post-war world. As the narrative moves into the post-war years, it explores Stalin's increasing paranoia and the growing isolation of his final years. Montefiore describes how the dynamics within the inner circle shifted as Stalin became more suspicious and unpredictable, culminating in events such as the Doctor's Plot and the purges of Jewish intellectuals. These episodes illustrate the extent to which Stalin's fear and distrust permeated every aspect of his rule, even as his health declined and his grip on power began to waver. The book concludes with Stalin's death in 1953 and the subsequent power struggle among his lieutenants. Montefiore examines the immediate aftermath of Stalin's death, including the efforts to dismantle the machinery of terror and the complex legacy he left behind. The narrative underscores the profound impact of Stalin's rule on the Soviet Union and the world, highlighting the enduring consequences of his leadership and the systems of control he created. In conclusion, Stalin, The Court of the Red Tsar is a masterful work of history that provides an unparalleled look into the life and reign of one of the 20th century's most infamous figures. Montefiore's meticulous research and vivid storytelling bring to life the complexities of Stalin's character and the intricacies of his regime. The book is a powerful exploration of power, fear, and human ambition, offering both a detailed account of Stalin's dictatorship and a broader reflection on the nature of totalitarianism. It is an essential read for anyone seeking to understand the forces that shaped the Soviet Union and the world during Stalin's time in power.